Hi guys, good evening and welcome back once again to the EdWord. I'm your host Eddie, and in tonight's video I will be bringing you my full Season 3 spoiler-filled review for the entirety of the brand new third season we got for one of our favorite Netflix shows, Jurassic World Chaos Theory, which dropped, I believe, about a week ago. I finally had a chance to watch it, binge it all earlier today, really enjoyed it. So now I'm bringing you my delayed but enthusiastic review for it. So that being said, just a couple things to point out there for the record. I am going to be covering a lot from the beginning to the middle to the end of the season. So if you're currently watching this show, Jurassic World Chaos Theory, and you're on Season 3, but you haven't finished it yet, you may not want to keep watching or listening to this review, as I will be discussing spoilers, plot details, character deaths, all that jazz. That being said, you have been warned. Okay, spoilers starting now. What a season. This might have been their best season yet, which is interesting because there were very few far in between dinosaur fights, but there was no shortage of dinosaur action or dinosaur peril. But this season really felt like a solid espionage thriller with dinosaurs thrown in the mix. It was kind of like, a spy thriller with dinosaurs sprinkled throughout, and I absolutely loved the tie-ins to the events of Jurassic World Dominion. Of course, they ended up in Malta. Of course, they ended up at that literal underground black market where the dinosaurs were being sold and traded and whatnot. And they crossed paths with Barry, of course, and with Dodson as well. And the show answered the question with what happened to Santos, because after her confrontation with Claire in Jurassic World Dominion, we don't see her ever again during the movie, but now we got the answers. Like, she was arrested, taken alive into custody, and Brooklyn gave her a good smack as well to finally put that bitch in her place, because she's a pretty nasty person. And it was nice seeing Brooklyn get the upper hand on her and saying checkmate in the Season 3 finale, which was quite satisfying and quite cool. I did like how Santos had this look of realization on her face. She's like, "You're wasting time." And of course, by the time she realizes that there's Barry and his backup, along with Davi there recording her, and of course, that's when they take her down. Very satisfying gotcha moment. But this whole season was great. The stakes were high. It was the most divided, literally, we have ever seen the Nublar Six. Like, they've been split on big, important decisions before, but choosing to help Brooklyn and choosing to basically abandon Brooklyn was probably the biggest decision they've ever faced as a group. And it was interesting to see how each of these characters reacted accordingly based on their relationships with their individual relationship with Brooklyn, how and why they reacted to it. Kenji was obviously hurt, felt very betrayed, as did Sammy. The rest seemed kind of okay, or at least if not okay with the situation, willing to help Brooklyn because maybe there was more to the story. And as the viewers, we want to tell them, yes, there's more to the story. She's deep undercover trying to bring down this whole dinosaur trafficking operation, and she can't have you guys blowing her cover. But of course, we can't do that because they're not real characters. They're on our TV screens. But everything ended up getting sorted in the end there. Although for a second there, I thought, oh God, are they really gonna end this season the way last season did? Nah, they wouldn't do that. Unfortunately, they didn't. But like I said, even though they wrapped up the storyline with Santos being taken down, and they put an end to that super creepy, unsettling, well-designed character, the Handler. In fact, I love the fact that the only time we heard her speak was right before she died, when she told the Carnotaur to stop, but of course it ate her anyway. And her brief alliance with Brooklyn was kind of interesting, and then turning against Santos was cool too. But I was like, this chick has done far too much damage. hurt and killed far too many people to not get her comeuppance. And sure enough, this show did exactly what this franchise is best at, in my opinion, which is making sure our villains of the series get their comeuppance, whether it's they're taken alive into custody or they're eaten by a dinosaur. And in this case, that's what happened to the Handler and Santos, respectively. And then I thought it was pretty funny how, although the trailer did reveal this, I think the trailer showed this, how Ben did indeed have a girlfriend, but his friends being skeptical about it was pretty funny up until they finally met her. She was an interesting addition to the cast, as was her nanny, which was either her mother or grandmother. She ended up being a great addition to the cast as well. And then, of course, that adorable, delightful little Smoothie. Oh, what a cute little dinosaur he was. Oh, man. And now they have all the more reason to get him reunited with his mom now that she's in the Biosyn Valley over there in Italy, where Kenji and Sammy were. So it feels like both groups, even though they've split off, are going to have some kind of reunion at the Biosyn facility, probably aligning with the final moments of the film Jurassic World Dominion, or maybe they'll get there shortly after the fact. Who knows? I'm just hopeful that we'll get a 4th season eventually, and we'll get those answers questioned. But for now, we'll get those questions answered. But for now, this was a solid, entertaining season. You know, the dinosaur fights were few far in between, but that wasn't to say there weren't any dinosaurs at all. There was plenty of them, having a small to big presence in each episode. But I really enjoyed how this whole season felt like a very serious, a very dark espionage thriller with super high stakes and complex emotional relationships between the characters, where everything isn't exactly clear or black and white, but it's more gray than anything else. So another solid season from Jurassic World Chaos Theory. Hats off to the cast and crew, who all did a wonderful job in their respective roles. Really hoping for a 4th season, and hopefully we get some confirmation about that sooner rather than later. All right, guys, have a wonderful rest of your night. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed Season 3 of Jurassic World Chaos Theory as much as I did. What did you all think of it? I'd love to hear your thoughts and feelings on it. Have a wonderful rest of your night, and of course, until next time, may the Force be with you.